because oftentimes we intend to record and then don't. In this session, we have 4 students presenting their research from the psych department. I will introduce each student name that I have been given and their presentation ID and the title of their study for judges. Presenters, while you are being introduced, go ahead and start sharing your screen. You will have 7 minutes to present and 5 minutes to answer questions. And we will give you a 1-minute warning if you're going to be running a little long. Judges, I'll be providing you the participant ID, and which will go at the top of your judging form. And all attendees will be muted throughout the presentation. So if you have a question for the participants, please write that in the chat feature, and Teresa and I will read those to the presenter at the end of the presentation. All right, so first we have presenting Maddie James, presenting her work titled Hooked on a Feeling, the Effects of Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response on Mood. Judges, Maddie is participant number 5 for your judging forms.
Alrighty, good morning. My name is Maddie James, and this is my research on autonomous sensory meridian response and its effects on mood. Autonomous sensory meridian response is most often referred to in its acronym as ASMR, and that's how I will refer to it throughout this presentation. I feel as though ASMR is a new and upcoming outlet that is usually found on the internet, but also most people have been introduced to this phenomenon through the works of Bob Ross. So the deliberate and gentle brushstrokes, his encouraging words, and that personal connection that he makes you feel through the screen is something that's all effects and characteristics of ASMR. This is my abstract. I also provided my research question, which was, how do the psychological triggers produced when viewing ASMR affect mood? I also provided a small example of ASMR just so I could have the viewers a visual representation. So these types of triggers usually are very soft. They come in the form of like finger waving. Sometimes it will be hair brushing or even whispering. Everybody seeks out ASMR for different reasons. They can seek it out for relaxation, improved mood, but also to help aid them for sleep. Within my research, I had 28 participants recruited through a campus-wide email sent to LSUA students, as well as convenience sampling. I initially collected 30 participants, but 2 of them were discarded due to having, they filled out the survey twice. Within the survey, I made it on Google Forms, and it contained an informed consent that had the purpose, procedures, cost and benefits, potential risks, contact information for the researcher. And if the participant decided to continue and accepted the informed consent, they went on to the next part of the survey, which was the demographic. And it provided questions on age, gender, ethnicity, and also if participants had been exposed to ASMR previously. Then the participant filled out a positive and negative affect schedule. This contained 2 mood scales, one for positive affect, one for negative affect, and it's 20 questions altogether. They answer the questions on a Likert scale from 1 to 5. One of the reasons that I selected the positive and negative affect schedule was the times between pre-test and post-test for this assessment tool could be used almost immediately afterwards. And this was really important for my study because the design of the study was a pre-test, post-test design. Within the study, they took the first positive and negative affect schedule. Then they were provided with a 10-minute ASMR video. This ASMR video was a compilation of different triggers. And after they viewed the video, they were asked to complete a second positive and negative affect schedule within 10 to 15 minutes of viewing that video. For the results, again, I have my research question and my hypothesis listed. My initial hypothesis was that the psychological triggers experienced when viewing ASMR contribute to an increase in positive mood. I was actually shown that my hypothesis could not be accepted. It was actually rejected, but I'll go over some of my descriptive statistics first. Over half of my participants had not previously been exposed to ASMR, which is kind of surprising. I feel as though the participant pool that I had was younger in age, and I feel like ASMR is mostly on the internet. So at some point in time, I would have assumed that they might have come in contact with ASMR, but obviously the results prove otherwise. Also, with the positive and negative affect schedule, the pretest and post-test scores show that there was a reduction in both positive and positive and negative affect. So that shows that there was actually not an increase of positive mood. There was actually a decrease of positive mood. But along with that decrease in positive mood, there was also a decrease in negative mood.
1 minute, Maddie.
Okay. So in these charts, I have all 28 participants shown with their mean scores pre-test and post-test. You can see that there are significant drops in those means. For my analysis of my research question, I ran a one-tailed t-test assuming equal variance at 0.05. And for positive affect, the critical score for changes between pre-test and post-test was 0.006. And for negative affect, it was 0.001. These results do not support my hypothesis that there would be an increase in positive mood. But according to my research results, ASMR videos significantly lower all emotional responses, both positive and negative. These findings are consistent with claims of individuals that say that they seek out ASMR videos to help them sleep. Also, I believe that the benefits of viewing ASMR videos to reduce emotional response overall could further be examined as a potential supplement along with various types of psychotherapy. Some of my limitations were I did not have a neutral setting for participants to take the survey. They were encouraged to take them within their own homes in a relaxed and quiet place. So there were definitely confounding variables between each environment that the survey was taken. Also, there was a lack of diversity in my participation pool. Less than 1/4 of the pool were from people of color. So it was mostly Caucasian or white people that took my survey. Also, for future research, I definitely would think that a laboratory setting would be ideal, just to minimize different variables that I could not prevent at this point. Also, I think it would be interesting to use the same assessment tool, but maybe look and see the differences between certain triggers and not just like a compilation of several. And
All right.
alrighty, there are my references. And thank you.
Thank you, Maddie. We have a couple questions. Remember, if you have a question for Maddie and her presentation, if you get it in pretty quick, we will ask her. We do have 2 questions currently, Maddie. The first one is, I've heard of a video recording where the viewer watches or listens to someone cutting paper with scissors. The sound is supposed to be relaxing. Is this an example of ASMR?
Yeah, definitely. I think if that was the purpose of the creator of the video, was to provide someone with those psychological and physiological responses, then yes, I think there are so many different things that could be considered ASMR. There are role play videos that are ASMR. There are eating videos that can be considered ASMR. Like I previously mentioned, there are like hair brushing, finger tapping, typing. It really just depends, I think, on what the preferences of the viewer are. Also, probably a demand from what viewers would want.
Okay. Next question. If you were to redo this research study, what aspects would you change?
I think the biggest thing that I would change would be having one site to have participants come to. I really feel that having one consecutive location could definitely affect results, just because they were asked to wear headphones. I wasn't able to view them or study them while they were taking the survey. So I wasn't able to see if they wore the headphones or how long they took between viewing the video and the second positive and affect schedule. And I feel like having more control over those things as a researcher would be something that I would want to do in the future.
All right, we have another question. What, if any, were the ethical facets to your study?
So one thing that I had to consider with ASMR is doing prior research to starting the study. ASMR is a new and upcoming, I guess, phenomenon that is being studied by scientists, but it has been linked and kind of referred to or compared to like misophonia, which is the hatred of certain sounds. And I feel as though some ASMR examples could definitely fit within that category, especially like the eating ones for some people. So knowing that I would be subjecting participants to this kind of outlet, I had to make sure that there were like psychological risk factors that were listed, being discomfort or psychological discomfort or distress, and also provided contact information for on-campus psychological services.
Okay, and we are almost up on our 5 minutes of questions, so we'll leave with one, which is, why did you choose to do this research? You have 40 seconds.
Okay, I'll make it quick. I chose to do this research because I definitely seek out ASMR videos. When I have trouble sleeping, I'll definitely check YouTube and see what's going on. It's just a topic that I thought was very interesting, as well as I seek out this type of content myself. So it was easy for me to stick with the research and stay passionate and stay, I guess, diligent to performing all of this and finishing it out.
All right. All right. Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you.
Judges, please remember she is number 5 in your recording. Maddie, if you will unshare your screen so we can allow